Hello guys, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, my name is Elena Visas and I do videos about moving to Germany as a student, as a worker, and in other ways. So today we are going to be talking about moving to Germany as a worker. So like this is my first time tackling workers, and we are going to be talking about how the procedure goes, documents needed, what happens after you move here, and there will be a lot that will come in the future, but today we start with this. And for that I have a very special guest. So guys, just stay tuned and let's get right into the video. So guys, I've been joined by my very special guest, who is my hubby. I don't want to say his name, he'll introduce himself, but as I said guys, we are talking about coming to Germany as a worker, and I thought the best way would be to hear it from the horse's mouth. The horse's mouth. So I wanted to have a case study, and I had the best case study all along, and we will do this with other people in the future. But let's start with Dante B. Please tell or introduce yourself to my audience, and then tell us where you work, what you do, where you work, and yeah, how long you've been in Germany.
Hi everyone, my name is Dante Bisson, and I'm a graphic designer. I work with Hillywell, how to say, GmbH. It's based in Berlin, and they have another office in Mainz, here in Germany, and that's where I'm based. I've been in Germany for like 5 months. I was in Belgium, then got a job here, then moved here. And so far it's been going okay. A few, stress going through your paperwork, but so far everything has been going fine. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. We're sharing a mic because normally he's always in the behind the camera, and then today he's coming in front of the camera. I'll need another mic with time. So thank you so much for accepting to come and do this. He has been in Germany 5 months, as you guys have heard, and I just want to know, what was the journey getting here? You said you were in Belgium first, and then you moved here. Like, how was it applying to jobs? Like, how many jobs did you apply to before getting this one? Like, just like how difficult or how easy was it, getting a job, and then the process.
Before moving to Germany, before moving to Europe, I was in Cameroon, and where I was working as a graphic designer with MWDDB, where I worked there for like 6 years, then eventually moved over to Belgium for a professional training in digital storytelling at CAS School of Art. So after my training, the natural thing was to also get a job to join my wife here in Germany, who is already a student. I must say you'd have to apply to a number of jobs. I think I applied to over 100 jobs. But one thing you need to know too is that it really depends on your field. So I'm more in art and design, and I know for sure that here in Germany there are a lot of these opportunities. So in art and design, even computer programming, and a lot of other opportunities. Germany is really opening up to foreign expats. So from Belgium, I started applying a lot more to Germany. For one, to reunite with my family, and two, of course, to get the European experience. But I must say it wasn't easy. It was such a journey. It was kind of a challenging experience as well. So I did apply, as I said earlier, to a number of jobs, and I got feedback, which was a good thing. Then fortunately, Hillywell found interest in me, and they were very prompt in their decision. So I really got lucky, because in my field of studies, graphic design, there's an entire phase. So you have to go through 4 different phases of the interview before final recruitment and signing of contract. This is something I forgot earlier. So in my field, for instance, and maybe if you're a software developer, they will want to see a portfolio of your work. So which means sample works you've done in the past. They want to see the approach you took. And in this particular field, what is interesting, unlike maybe what we experience in Cameroon, where you have your designs and you just present to an employer and they see your works and they like it, here in Europe it's a bit different. Now, they're not just interested in the final product, they want to see your process. They want to see how you approach problems, how you can actually provide a solution to an actual business problem. And that's what makes it quite interesting. And that's what I got to learn here when I moved. So you need to design your portfolio in a way you show the steps, a step-by-step process of how you arrived at the final maybe design and how applicable it is going to be in the market. So maybe in some subsequent episode, maybe we can come up with those steps. But I went through all of that, presented samples of my work, went through the interview process, which was like 4 steps. Trust me, it's also a very challenging experience. Then, of course, I got my contract, which was sent to me. And when you have your contract, then that's the beginning of your move, like the core part. So when I got my contract, I definitely compiled the documents that were necessary. And now, this is a very interesting part as well. Your area of studies must relate to the job you are applying here in Germany. I don't know about other countries, but Germany is actually very, keen at getting some educational background in the field you want to come study. And yeah, so that wasn't really much of an issue for me because entire life I've been in this field. And then so I had to show proof of my studies. And then, of course, my CV, which shows my experience over the years. And then when you have this educational qualification, your work experience, of course, you have other administrative documents, like you have this, what they call, they have this evaluation in the German market to see whether or not these are jobs in demand and if the labor market actually is open to that. Then the other thing too is you need to get this document from your employer, which is called declaration of employer's declaration, to show that they have recruited you, they are actually in charge of you. So they sign all of that, showing your job description, job title, hours of work per week, and income and all of that. They have to do all of that. Then they will send back the document to you, which you add to your file. And basically, I hope I'm not leaving anything out, but just basically compile all of that and before
apply
to for the visa at the embassy. Yeah, to be honest, it's not really a complicated process. To be honest, once you have the checklist which you download from the embassy, and now mind you, it varies. The German embassy varies. The requirements vary per country. So I was in Belgium when I applied, so it was a bit different. And I would still be very honest and candid here that I didn't go through a lot of stress to get my visa from the moment I started compiling my documents to landing the visa. And in fact, it took about 1.5 weeks to get my visa because I already had all the documents. And what made it easy for me also was because I was already here in the EU, then my years of experience in this field. So I moved in as an expert the process was kind of easy, Yeah.
Okay. There's a lot of takeaways from what he has said. Like, number one, your field, the field in which you're moving in really matters. So it's good to check that also before coming, do a bit of research and see how much in demand your field is here in Germany. And then it's important to know that your field of study must match with your job.
Yeah, your career prospects.
Your career
job search here in Germany.
Exactly. Yeah. So if that does not match, that's something you should be trying to fix already. Like if you don't have like some qualification that matches to your job, try to get that qualification so that it matches to your job.
Yeah, I'm happy you brought up the qualification. I might have brushed through when I was speaking earlier. Now, yes, the very interesting thing, aside from maybe studying in a particular field, so Germany, especially if you didn't study in Germany, for people like you who studied here in Germany, you have this advantage. For those of us who did not study in Germany, so what happens is prior to applying, there's this platform they call Anabin. So the Anabin platform, you have to. It's a must. You must have your educational credentials evaluated, because Germany has certain fixed rules and regulations that have to be met. And then you need to prove that your institution is recognized in Germany, too, the program is also recognized in Germany, and then you send this document. Now, there are two ways. You can actually check on the platform to see if your program actually appears on the platform, or if your institution is also recognized, or in some other cases, you can actually write directly to them, where you send them your educational qualifications and then they evaluate them. But now it all depends on the field you're going in for, and if in case your education is, or your university is not listed on the platform. But generally, they have a wide array of universities and programs.
Because I do remember that I even called them, right? I had to call them so that we since your program, the program you studied in Belgium was also kind of a new program. So we had to call them, and before that
just was to get confirmation.
Get confirmation that was okay. So you can also always call. I think if you just go to Anabin, I'll link it down below, guys. You can get any information that you need. And also, it's important, you've mentioned a lot of things, and one thing I wanted to ask is, like, did your company have to assist? Because I know some jobs I see, they say we assist in the visa process, and sometimes it makes it easier. I don't know if the company assists.
So again, I would say my case was a bit different. You might have different stories, but the advantage I had was I was already in Europe, in Germany, in Belgium, and before then I'd visited Germany a few times. Now, my company, during my interview recruitment process, actually made it clear that since I'm already here, it was going to be easy. But they didn't go the extra mile per se, apart from, signing the employer's declaration to show that, okay, we have employed this person, we are paying this person every month, his contract is a permanent contract, he has all the entitlements that come with working in Germany. Once that is signed and the company sends back, I think from that point onwards, you just add that to your documents and you apply. Except in exceptional cases, maybe you are some kind of, how do you call them? Maybe some super expert in very sensitive fields where you have direct intervention, highly skilled worker. Maybe in the medical fields. But in most cases, once you have all documents intact and you have this employer's declaration and all of that, everything else should go easy.
So, guys, it's also important to understand that, like he keeps mentioning, that your field or whatever you're coming to study is important, because if you're coming for these highly qualified occupations like doctors, lawyers, any kind of qualifications or any kind of professions that need some kind of extra license or something, just know that it's different. Like in Anabin, you do not only need the certificate of qualification, but you need some other document. I remember there's this other document you need. So it's not just about checking that your document or your field of study is recognized. You don't just need a certificate of recognition, but you need I think it's the certificate of qualification.
It's a bit complex
for highly skilled workers, it's a bit complex for those kind of professions. So it's just thank you so much. You have said so much already, and I just wanted to ask maybe a last question, because you've mentioned it took virtually 2 weeks to get the visa. So guys, the longest or the most difficult part of the whole procedure was the application. Applying to get a job. That was the most tedious and most difficult part of it. But then you've gotten your visa and everything, and you move here. Did the embassy also ask, like, maybe you needed to have accommodation to apply already? Like, did you already have to have accommodation here in Germany, or that was not a requirement? And also, after you moved, can you just give us a very brief description of how, like, your move was and what you had to do after you moved here?
All right. So here's the thing about moving. Prior to moving, maybe when you're going to submit your documents, of course, you need to show that, okay, upon arrival, you have to stay somewhere. Now, in my case, I didn't have a place yet. Since my city is, I'm like a bit far from my wife's, and I needed to be on the spot. So I actually kind of booked Airbnb, which is an obvious one, prior to arrival. But I think in other videos, it's very important to get your address registered once you move to Germany. But that's a whole different thing. Yeah. But I didn't have to absolutely, I just had to, show that, okay, I had the Airbnb,
for at least a month.
Yeah, for at least a month, because that's actually what happened. We're eventually staying in hotels and then so normally your company should be able to arrange for accommodation because you're coming in as an expat. But now, mind you, and here's what is interesting, Germany right now has a lot of startups. My company is a startup, but it's growing exponentially. So there are a lot of startups. So they might have some challenges kind of arranging, because since they really may not have all the facilities or resources to get accommodation. These are things you might want to bear in mind. Kind of making arrangements with hotels, or maybe making a booking with hotels or Airbnb. But generally, companies should be able to support your staff moving in with this maybe temporary accommodation or something. So basically, that's that for accommodation, and I didn't really have to explain much about. I just had to put the address of where I was going to stay in my application form. I wasn't even asked any questions related to that, and I don't know. It depends now entirely on the country, because I didn't go through a lot.
I'm sure, like, coming from Cameroon will be more really way more complicated with the documents they will need at the embassy and the kind of questions they will ask. Being already in the EU or being already in Europe made it a bit easier for you. So guys, I'm going to look for another case study of somebody that came directly from a third world country, and or maybe not a European country, like another country, just so that we see
we get a different experience.
And how was it when you came? Like, what did you have to do? How was your feeling? Like,
when I moved here, again, I would have to mention that my company was a startup company, and there's just so much to be done. So I remember I got here on the 18th of October last year, 2021, and on the 19th I already started working. Like, they just needed somebody immediately, and so I was still in the hotel. I didn't even know how to get the bus to my workspace, and but it was quite abrupt. So everything went fast, but then gradually I had kind of started searching for an apartment at least close to work, which I succeeded after like 1 or 2 months. Then
with the help of his wife,
of course, always. So got the place, then got the address registered, because it's really important. Without that, you can't create a bank account. So I already had a bank account in Belgium, so I used that for a while when I moved here in Germany. I used because it's very important to have your bank account, if not, you're going to pay you. So I got my address registered, then created a new bank account, got a phone number. Using her address, her original existing address, because you can't do that when you're less than 6 months if you have to get a new phone or whatever. But
it was a lot.
There was just so much happening in less than a few weeks.
Guys, we'll talk more about what happens after you move here to Germany, right? Because there's a lot that you have to do. But
so much.
If we have to go into that, it's like another whole video. So maybe please come back. I hope he will come back because it was so much fun. I think that's basically it, right?
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys have more questions. You can put it down in the comment box, and definitely he will be back to give more gist about how it's going.
Yeah,
because you've been here now for 5 months, going on 6, and it has been also a journey. So
especially the most important aspects, prepare. I don't know, depending on your field, but I'll mostly leverage on my field for designer, or maybe a software developer, or maybe you're just a designer generally. Key things you need to understand moving or finding a job anywhere in Europe, whether it's in the Americas or here in Europe, is that your portfolio is your biggest seller. Once you have a very good portfolio, well structured, according to the demands here, then you're already, because trust me, it's highly competitive. We're talking of super talented kids who are already here, were born here, know the system better, so you have to come compete with them. So for you to be able to outshine them and secure a job, then you should really be good at what you do. So this is something you need to have in mind: preparing your portfolio, understanding the process, the interview process, from HR's first call, the very first call, where they show interest in your work, till when you secure your job and going through your probation period. These are the core parts. So from getting the job contract and applying for the visa, all of that, because moving in is another thing. You're already there, so it's different. But just securing the job is also a very, very important part. That's the most important, actually.
Okay. Thank you so much. I couldn't have summarized that better. Thank you so much, Dante B. Did you even say your name?
Yes, I think I did.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. So thank you so much, Dante B, for coming and sharing your experience with us. I think it's really important to always hear, see people that actually succeeded, or to just see the process, instead of just hearing me telling you theoretically, but you say practical examples. So thank you so much, and I hope you loved this video, guys. And as I said, we will do more of this. I'll talk more with many other people that have had different experiences, not only with coming as a worker, but as au pairs, or just talking with other people and seeing how they see Germany and how they have lived in Germany and all of that. There's a lot to learn from. So I hope you learned from this video, and as usual, please like, subscribe, and comment down below any questions you have, or if you want to hear more from Dante about how the work environment is here, just mention that below and we will do another video. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye.